It's a star-studded affair on a sweaty Saturday night in Edmonton. We get you set for the Oilers and Avalanche on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the pregame show. Tom Gazzola alongside Shawn Belle, not inside the EST Satellite Studios, which is just over there in my office. We are inside my kitchen because, Bellsy, we're on location. You're here. You're coming down to work the game, and I forgot the banner. I think Lieutenant
Did you
Eric
call it a sweaty show? Or sweaty Edmonton?
Yeah, it's wet outside.
I've never heard that.
Wet.
Yeah, okay. I get that.
It
reference
was snowing and then it melted.
I get that part, but I didn't expect you to go with sweaty.
Sorry.
Of all the ones for, wet, that's the one that I didn't think you were going to go with.
Sorry, I wanted to do the alliteration thing.
It caught me off guard.
All right. Well, you can text us, 780-218-9999. You can get into the nasty chat if you're watching on YouTube. We look forward to hearing from you. Benny Thompson back at our EST Global Studios as we get set for what should be a very fun night. Maybe it's going to be a steamy night inside Rogers
What about
Place
just like moist?
That's not a word we like to use.
Oh, that's why? Okay.
Yeah, I guess
Is that like the same kind of thing as like Silly Goose with Maddie?
Yeah, well, no, that's with Dusty. That's the morning, and Eric. That's the morning show.
So they don't like Silly Goose. You don't like moist.
I don't care.
Okay.
I'm fine with it. Whatever. So
sweaty, moist.
I just wanted to use alliteration. I came up with something
all good,
quick.
Man. I get it. I get it. Here we are.
All right, we're gonna have a good show tonight. Bailey Curtis is gonna join us from DNV, our Avalanche. She'll give us the scoop on the Avs, having a great season so far. 8-1-5. The Oil still kind of trying to figure things out. 6-5-4. If you have any questions, fire those our way. Old Boom Boom here will answer as much as he can. Let's welcome in Benny Thompson as we remind everybody, GCL Diesel providers of, I'm laughing, the best diesel engine components around, turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. What's up, Benny? How you doing, pal?
Great, boys. I'm great. I'm excited for this one. This actually might be, I think, the most excited I've been for an Oilers game so far this year. I love the talent that's on the ice tonight. So,
even more than Montreal.
I love my Habs. The Habitant. It's my new favorite team. They're so good, but I'm excited for this one. Really excited for this one. Oilers, Avs, yep. McKinnon, McDavid, Draisaitl, McCarr, Natchez, Bush. Yeah, I said Bush. But yeah, I'm excited for this one. It should be a fun one.
You're right. I agree with you. It should be a good one because it is star-studded. So
thank you. I'm
looking forward to it.
We'll get to a question of the night. We'll get you some lines. We'll get you the injury report brought to you by Advantage Sport Medicine Physiotherapy. And then to those that maybe haven't seen, we've done the show from this spot a couple of times.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
When the circumstances dictate it, and usually have the nice EST banner. Mm-hmm. But as a reminder, the banner, I think Rick has it because he's on location for Monday and Thursday Night Football. We have two of them, Bellsy. One of them's out of commission, though. Those things get beaten up. And I blame myself a little bit for that. It's okay. Yeah. We'll survive. So
nice backdrop that we have.
Most people are listening anyway, but to those watching, welcome inside Casa Shea Gazzola. So
beautiful.
I cleaned it up to make sure there was hockey gear here earlier because my parking garage is being completely redone, so I don't have access to my parking stall and my storage unit, and so I have to make do without it. I'm very, very sorry, and I apologize. So I cleaned it all up.
Attaboy.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. All right. Benny, let's fire it up. Let's go with the question of the night. What do you have for everybody?
So this is a question directed straight for the fans. What is your confidence level on the Oilers getting a win tonight? I know it's a basic question, but
I can answer that right now.
I want a gauge of what the confidence level around Oil Country is tonight.
Well, Benny, if you just look at the nasty chat,
already
it's one of two. It's going to be an unreal game, or it's going to be an absolute dumpster fire.
Riding the Pine says exciting or tire fire. So basically, that's something. Shaggy, to no one's surprise, zero confidence. I think
something would be wrong if it was anything more than zero from Shaggy. I think something would be wrong. I'm not shocked.
Confidence level from Ace, 7 out of 142. Interesting choice of numbers. And then Barbershop Window says 15 years to get a goalie in the McDavid era. Good job, management. Haha. I am doing it right. He's been in the league for 10 or 11 now, but yes, I get the premise of what you're saying. So your confidence level in the Oilers getting a win tonight, I put it at like a 6 or a 7 because I think like the good teams kind of scare the Oilers into playing well. If I could use is it
they scare the Oilers into playing well, or the Oilers get up for that game?
That's a better way to describe it. But I think fear can be used
as a great motivator
because they don't want to get embarrassed and they want to show that they're still one of the top dogs. And so I think your descriptor is better, but with the way the team's playing so far this year, I'd say, well, maybe they get their backs against the wall and they have to fight their way out of a situation against a really good Avs team that's 8-1-5 this season. I put it like a 6.5 then. If I'm going between 6 and 7, I'll put it at 6.5. They have to play better. As simple as that. Yep. They can't score more than 3 goals out of the 15 games they've played this year. They've scored more than 3 goals 2 times. It happened in a very short period of time. It happened against Utah Mammoth a week and a half ago. And then a few days prior to that, it happened against the Montreal Canadiens where they had a flurry at the end of the game.
Yes.
A couple of power play opportunities that they converted on in the third period. That was exciting. We thought they had turned the corner. And then, they went into a bit of a lull that weekend, and then they come out of it, and then they play good against the Utah Mammoth after having to have a conversation in the locker room at the first intermission and said, enough is enough, boys.
Yep.
Score 5 goals in the second period of that game, end up winning it in convincing fashion. But other than those 2 games, everyone, like, we haven't seen them score more than 3 goals. And I know we've hit on the goaltending, and, there's much to be desired there at times. We've talked about the lack of team defense. We've talked about the lack of defense playing well.
Yep.
Puck moving out of their zone. We've talked about Evan Bouchard being a problem. We've talked about Darnell Nurse being a problem. We've talked about Matthias Ekholm starting to slow down a little bit in his advanced age in the National Hockey League. Like, we've talked about all these different things, but at the end of the day, to me, the most glaring thing, guys, is they don't score more than 3 goals in a game, except for 1 out of every 7 and 8 games. That to me is the biggest issue.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you. But I think there is a lot of different things that are factoring into why the Oilers are playing the way that they are. Now, if you can't score more than 3 goals in a game, the probability of you winning games isn't going to be very high. So that's a big problem. And in previous years, they've been able to outscore their problems. And when you're looking at it right now, you've got lots of new guys in your lineup. You're finding guys that are trying to figure it out, but they're making mistakes. And I think they're making more mistakes now than they were last year at this exact same time.
And last year was not that great. Yeah.
So because they can't outscore their problems, now you're starting to see, where the cracks are. And it's frustrating because, like, I think we can all agree in Oil Town, we think this is it's a better team than what they're showing. And they have a higher ceiling. They have a higher ceiling than what they're showing.
I still stand by that too.
But when it comes to games like this, they always rise to the challenge.
I hope they do tonight for the sake of everybody in the city, because people are getting a little bit concerned. Benny, what would you say to all of this?
Yeah, I agree. Barbershop Window has it like exactly what I would have it too. I'm more confident Oilers will beat a team like the Avs and a team like like Calgary or St. Louis. Like, it's, to me, like they have a tendency to understand their circumstances in terms of like the stakes of a game. We saw it with the Mammoth coming into town, and they were red hot, and the Oilers came out and they actually, after a lackadaisical first period, they had a great second and third and won that game, right? So I could see a very motivated Oilers team tonight, but it also could be a wake up call. It could be a night where a very good Colorado team comes in and stomps all over them, and it maybe galvanizes the group. Who knows? But I'm actually pretty confident in the Oilers tonight. I think that the break was needed. They got 2 days off, and then they skated yesterday, skated today. There's people are thinking that maybe they had a rookie party after their game against Dallas, which
they stayed in Dallas an extra day, by the way.
Right. So it would be, it would make sense. Right. And I think that could help a team like this. So, gel together, share a couple beers and get closer with your teammates. I think is always a good thing. So I'm confident in them tonight. Could I see them losing to a very good Colorado team? Absolutely. But I think they get up for these type of games, and that's what I would expect for tonight.
I'm going to dip into the inbox here. Brother Morgs texting in 780-218-9999. Brother Morgs says, Oilers will get a point. Book it. And then adds, when I went, they'll get between 6 and 7. Brother Morgs goes, 6, 7. Thank you, Brother Morgs. Appreciate it. And then actually, I saw this one come in. It's for Benny. I want to read it. It's from Daniel. Daniel says, I was wondering if you could ask Benny if he works out at the Good Life Fitness Terwilliger on Rabbit Hill Road. I swear I saw him today, or a doppelganger of Benny. Benny?
I'm not even joking. That might be the third time I've had someone be like, do you work out at this gym? I'm like, I'm like, no, I work out. Yeah, I do. I work out at the Planet Fitness in St. Albert. So
you're a St. Albert kid. Yeah,
I am. I don't leave I don't leave St. Albert very much. I don't know. I don't know where anywhere else. I don't know the directions anywhere else.
I find that fun. I just wanted to read that. All right, I have a question that came in. Belzy, I'm going to direct it towards you, and then Benny, I want to hear what you think, and I'll give my opinion on it. This came in from my old coach, Darren Balachuk. Great guy, student of the game. He's been coaching for like 25 years. You know?
Nope.
No? Okay. I just thought maybe you know through the connections in the pipeline, coach's pipeline. All right. He says, hey, Tommy G. I've been watching more of the Oilers so far since I'm not coaching much this season. I was wondering if you noticed the same. I feel like McDavid's attack angle when he has the puck is different this season. Seems like he might be over his toes a little more, which is leaving the puck more vulnerable as well as being a little bit slower to react laterally to pressure. Could you check into this, and thought you'd have the resources to find out and share your thoughts? I'll just say this. I didn't think of the over the toes thing that my old coach Darren noticed, and that's a good perceptive coach.
Yep.
To me, all I've noticed about McDavid is he doesn't look the same as in years past when he's in the offensive zone and has the puck. And I don't know if it's the over the toes thing, but you have the experience as a player, but also as a coach. What would you tell my old coach, Darren?
To be honest with you, I haven't noticed that he's playing more on his toes.
Not as over, or is he over his toes?
He's not as over his toes. Like, I mean, the way that McDavid skates, like he's on his toes and he's always trying to attack, and he's his shiftiness is second to none. But like, to me, when I'm watching McDavid, he just looks like he's going to, he's not simplifying the game, I guess is the best way to say it. He's looking for that extra pass, or he's looking to make that extra move. And eventually teams start to figure you out. The NHL is one of those leagues where they have the best coaches and they study players. And the thing that's always given McDavid trouble is when guys are always playing above him. So he likes to come back, he winds it up, he gets the puck with a lot of space, and he starts attacking. Mm-hmm. But what did Florida do in the Stanley Cup? They played players above him.
Yep.
What did Vancouver do when they gave him fits? Put players above him, and they make him go through players or have to fight through it, and they also clog up the middle of the ice. So, I think he's having to figure out a different way to play. Not necessarily a different way to play, but I think he's having to figure out, okay, well, I've got less time and space than I have before because people are starting to figure me out. Mm. And so now you've got to adapt to the game. You're still Connor McDavid. There's still going to be times where you're going to beat guys 1-on-4. But maybe it's just a different way that you have to play, and it's like boxing here. Now I'm going to throw a couple body punches,
right,
as opposed to always going for the haymaker.
Well, you have to have strategy.
Yeah,
boxing. Benny, what do you notice anything with how McDavid's attacking and the angle of how he's attacking? Like my old coach Darren noticed.
That could definitely be the case. Yeah, I didn't notice necessarily like his over the puck kind of angle that he takes at it. To me, that what I've noticed, what's different about Connor, like kind of what Belzy was saying, is just like he just doesn't like I think he's overthinking a lot, right? And he still has his moments where he walks a guy or he makes a really nice play and he's still getting points. I mean, like this guy was, until last night, I believe it was last night, he led the league in points. Like this is for what, like when you watch Connor McDavid and you watch him game by game over the past however many years, he hasn't really passed the eye test to start this year. I think everyone can agree on that. Like, he just doesn't look the same.
Right.
And he still led the league in points until last night. Like that to me is crazy to think about and shows how talented he is when he is going. I think it'll turn around. Obviously, he has to adapt to whatever mistakes he is making. Because I think teams are starting to get onto him a little bit, but I think maybe it's like Belzy was saying, simplifying the game a little bit. Not try because I noticed obviously we're all talking about he needs to shoot the puck more. Of course, it's easy for us to say that, but it's also about making the right passes at the right time. I noticed just a couple of just turnovers where he's trying to force a pass to Draisaitl far side or whatever it is, right? So I think it's something he'll adapt to and he'll eventually learn, but because it's the best player in the world. But I find it hilarious how it's like we're all talking about Connor's not the same. He was leading the league in points until last night, which it's pretty funny. I could totally see him taking over that top spot after tonight too.
And he is tied for third right now. Bedard in second at 22 points. Celebrini at 23 points. So he's still right up there.
Is it just as simple as the fact that he's not scoring as much as we'd probably have liked to have? He only scored
26 last year.
I know, but there's been previous years he's gotten more than that, and he's already said that he wants to score more. But is that the whole reason we're sitting here saying, well, he looks different?
Maybe.
Because it's one thing to say, okay, well, like he's looking to pass that puck to Draisaitl and he's looking to do different things, but like when you're the best player in the world, you can make those passes. So we've been mesmerized for the last 10 years on those exact passes that he's making right now. They were just going through before, and now we're kind of sitting here being like, well, is there something different? So it's kind of it's a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B.
Ace says he's become very, very predictable.
Maybe he was saying he wants to score more so that teams would think that he's going to shoot more, and then he's just going to pass it off. You know what? Maybe that was all a part of the plan.
Hey, he's super predictable until he puts somebody's jockstrap into the rafters. Yeah. So like, I don't know. Ace, I love your takes because I get a kick out of them sometimes, but like Connor McDavid is not predictable.
Yeah.
People are trying to slow him down.
Yeah.
They play above him so that they have to fight through. He has to fight through players. There's a little bit more clutching and grabbing. They're clogging the middle of the ice. I don't know. I don't personally think he's predictable because once again, like if I had to defend this guy, like, okay, well, just take it. I don't care because you're going to snap my ankle. So,
all right, let's get into starting lineups for tonight's game. Again, you can text us 780-218-9999. Get into the nasty chat as well as we get you ready for the Oilers and the Avs. Bailey Curtis joining us in a little bit from DNVR Avalanche. Here are your starting lineups for the Oil. This is what we're anticipating. McDavid with Draisaitl and Roslovic. What do you make of that?
Power on power.
Okay. Benny, do you like it?
I'm not the biggest fan of McDavid and Draisaitl playing together, and I hate that they're breaking up the Draisaitl Roslovic Podkolzin line. That's been your best 5-on-5 line the past however many games, and not even close. So
yeah, I'm with you.
I don't know, and I feel like Podkolzin won't have as big of a role now because he's not playing with Dry, and then I don't know, whatever.
We'll see how long it lasts. Second line, Nugent Hopkins with Podkolzin and Mangiapane. Henrique between Philp and Frederick, those two playing on their off wings. Tomashek with Howard and Savoy. On defense, Ekholm with Bouchard. Nurse with Regula. Kulak with Wallman. No Stetcher, no Emberson, no Lazar. What do you make of Regula going up with Nurse there?
I thought he looked good last time he was there. He's just a steady defenseman. He doesn't try to, he's not doing anything too flashy.
Yeah.
He's just solid. And I think that is what Nurse needs. He needs a guy paired up with him that is not taking extra risk. He's going to play solid, move pucks up when he needs to. And then it just brings back Nurse to do kind of the same thing.
Okay, we're going to hear from Alec Regula after game changers. The rest of the Avs line up as we go through that right now. McKinnon with Lehkonen and Natchez. That's a huge top line. Nelson with Colton and Nichushkin. Jack Drury between Gabriel Landeskog and Victor Olofsson. Olofsson's been a good addition for the Avs offensively. And Zakhar Bardakov between Parker Kelly and Gavin Brindley. On defense, Devon Taves with Cale Makar. Josh Manson with Brent Burns. What do you make of two righties on that pairing? Manson and Burns.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but I think those guys are going to be fine. Brent Burns has been on the right side his entire career, and he's been a staple there. Josh Manson, solid player. Like I think it's perfectly fine as long as you can handle it. Changes your vision a little bit.
Yeah,
in terms of where you're looking,
pucks off
right?
On your backhand on the wall.
But I think Manson's the type of player that can handle it.
Good veteran defenseman, Josh Manson for sure. Ilya Solovyov with Sam Malinsky, the third pairing out for the Avalanche. Jack Ashawn. Your starting goalies tonight, 27-year-old Stu Skinner for the Oil, 4-3-3 this season, 254 goals against average. 899 save percentage. Bellsy dips below 900. That's going to piss some people off. One shutout in 10 games this year. Lifetime, Skinner 4-1-2 against the Avs, 294 GA, 914 save percentage in 8 games versus Colorado. At the other end of the rink, it will be 33-year-old Scott Wedgwood, 8-1-2 this season. Mackenzie Blackwood was banged up for a good chunk of the season. He is backing up tonight, I believe. And Wedgwood, 249 GAA, 902 save percentage, 12 games played this year. Lifetime versus the Oil, 2-2-2, 314 GAA, 918 save percentage in 6 games versus Edmonton. We're going to add something.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, Scott Wedgwood's played so good. Could it be creating a goalie controversy in?
Well, I think that's something you should save for Bailey Curtis later.
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay, let's find out. I mean, the lumberyard, is there controversy? We'll find out. We'll ask Bailey about that. Let's get to the Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy injury report. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You've got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sport Medicine. Book your assessment today at www.advantagesportmed.ca or call 780-460-9977. I could use Advantage Sport Medicine right now. You played 3 games yesterday?
Two.
Okay.
2.5 hours. Like.
Jeff Nash played 3 games.
Yeah.
You sucked him into playing 2.
Yeah.
I played last night, and then I had a workout with Simon Bennett, and I'm in just pain. And I tried to do my yoga stretches. I need somebody with like professional abilities to fix my old man body. Yeah. It is in pain right now. So I might have to call Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy. All right, for the Oilers tonight, Zach Hyman, IR wrist, still not ready to go. Kasperi Kapanen, IR knee. Matthias Janmark, very close, but not ready. IR upper body, a.k.a. shoulder. For the Avalanche, Samuel Girard, IR upper body. Yoel Kiviranta, indefinitely. He's going to be out indefinitely with a lower body issue. And then Logan O'Connor, still recovering from hip surgery. I think he's tracking back as well. That is your Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy injury report. Tom, also on that list, just busted. Old and busted. Give them a call, 780-460-9977, or visit www.advantagesportmed.ca, and they'll take care of you like they would need to take care of me. All right, let's get to Game Changers with Bellsy. Game Changers is always brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting, consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years, community-driven, and understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, damonbunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Bellsy, we said it off the top, star-studded.
Star-studded affair. You got McCarr, McDavid, Draisaitl. You've got, Natchez has been good. This is McKinnon. How can I forget McKinnon? This is a matchup that is going to be high octane. And if the Oilers can get going, you're going to see both teams just slugging it out. It's a boxing match where both teams are throwing haymakers because they have guys that can literally change the game by themselves. So I'm expecting an exciting game. We talked about it earlier, where the Oilers are always a team that when they see a big-time team on the list, on the schedule, they rise to the challenge. It's that simple. They have to, or they're going to get embarrassed.
Benny, do you want to add anything to that? Star-studded, point number 1 of Game Changers?
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying earlier, that's why I'm so excited to watch them play. Like, it's just 2 heavyweight, high-end skill, fast teams, too. Like these teams are not slow. Like with McKinnon, McCarr, McDavid, Natchez is quick. Draisaitl is quick for his stature too. It's always fun games between these two, right? Like it's always just high octane, flying chances. I'm excited to see if the Oilers can use some of that home ice advantage they have tonight because the record at home is actually pretty solid. So, yeah, I guess use that against McKinnon and McCarr, get the proper matchups you want. And, but yeah, it'll be exciting to watch, just great hockey in general, just as guys on the ice.
And that's why they put the lines together the way that they did, because they are loading it up and it's going to be power on power.
I like power.
Now you're saying to the Avalanche, okay, well, is your best players better than our best players? Well, let's find out. So it's going to be an exciting game.
All right. And Benny, good job with the segue there.
Absolutely.
That was point number 2. Home ice, Bellsy.
Home ice, weather's have been fantastic on home ice. The crowd is always into the game. It's been a little bit quieter just in the way that they played, but usually the Oilers fans are electric. The boys love being here. They love playing on home ice, and they get up for those games. Mm-hmm. It's one of those games where you better be involved. And if you don't start early, they're going to take the crowd out of it. It's going to be a long night, and McKinnon's going to be running all over the place, and so is McCarr. But if you can come out of the gates hot, get the crowd behind you, there's a good opportunity for you to win this hockey game and feel good about your game moving into the next matchup.
All right, it is Game Changers with our game analyst, Shawn Belle. Game Changers is always brought to you by our good buddy, Damon Bunting, Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting now with the agency. Point number 1, star-studded. Point number 2, home ice. Point number 3, keep it rolling, young man.
He's not even really that young.
I know. That's
but
why
Jack Roslovic has been good. First couple games, finding his way into it. Now, all of a sudden, you can see what he's like. He's been slippery. He's been creating chances. He's almost like what the Oilers have been climbing for a long time, a second-line guy that could be paired with Draisaitl that can unlock the ability to have 2 lines. Now, I realize based off today that they've loaded up. They've got Roslovic, they've got Draisaitl, they got McDavid on one line. But in previous games, like Benny's point earlier, well, Podkolzin, Draisaitl, Roslovic has been one of their best 5-on-5 lines. So keep it rolling, young man. Keep it rolling.
I like that. And you're not at all partial to him because
I'm 100% partial because his son scored his first goal in HC Edmonton colors.
Well done. All right.
Shorty, too.
That is Game Changers, brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Number 1, star-studded. Number 2, home ice. Number 3, keep it rolling. Not so young,
Not so young.
Okay, I have a text I want to get to via the inbox, 780-218-9999. Jump into the nasty chat as well. Coach Mike wants to know, he says, new D pairings thoughts. What's Knobloch looking for? Is Nurse on the 3rd pairing, or is Regula getting bumped up to the 2nd pairing? From Coach Mike. What would you say, Bellsy?
I think he's looking for some stability. I think he's going to mix it up, and a bunch of guys are going to kind of play in that 18 to 20-minute range. If you can spread it out and give some guys some easier minutes, maybe that changes their game. Maybe it helps them out. Maybe they're not making those last turnovers, those egregious turnovers.
They have been egregious.
They have. Ekholm hasn't looked right. So if you have the ability to have a good D pairing with Nurse and Regula, maybe that eases some of Ekholm's minutes. Maybe it eases some of Bouchard's minutes. And that's what you're looking for, because you can't have the same turnovers night after night.
Nice. That brings us to something. But before we hear from Alec Regula, Benny, you said you had a neat story about him.
Yeah, so one of my best friends' older brother, who we also play ball hockey with, he's on the Ninjas, played...
Organized cardio, thank you very much for...
he played with Regula's older brother. My buddy went to Ohio State and played with his older brother. And he gets a text last year, and it's from Regula's older brother going, hey, like, my younger brother just got claimed by the Oilers. He's going to rehab his knee. Doesn't sound like he's going to play for the rest of the year. And, he doesn't really know a whole lot of people in Edmonton. He's not going to travel with the team or anything. He's literally just going to be living in Edmonton, rehabbing his knee and focusing on next year. Here's his number. If you want to go grab dinner with him, like we'd appreciate it. Just keep him company, whatever. Mm-hmm. And, so he did, and they've been hanging out for the past year. And, he was telling me, like, I saw him a couple days ago. He's like how determined he was to like make sure his knee was good get ready for the opening day roster today, or sorry, from the season, and just like how determined he was to make sure that he cracked the lineup and gave a good chance at taking over a spot over Emerson Stetcher. So he put a lot of work this past year to get himself right, and it looks like it's paid off because he's looked really damn good to start. I've liked what he's brought. So I like hearing those stories because it's like it's good to know that someone that's put a lot of work is starting to see it pay off. So it's kind of the story I have for it.
Well, yeah, I mean, when they claimed him, I think they had high hopes for him. Yeah, Boston really liked him.
Boston had a plan for him, apparently,
and unfortunately, he went on waivers, and they snatched him up pretty quickly. But I don't think it wavered when he was here and when he was hurt. Mm-hmm. And so now you're starting to see that. And that's where some of the, wanting to keep him in Boston. That's why, those guys were doing that. That's why they were so high on him here. You never heard a peep about, potentially trading him or sending him on waivers. Like, you just knew that Regula was in high regards for the Oilers, because what you're seeing is right now, when he was playing, he was solid. He was steady. And that's what the Oilers need. It can't always be, hey, a free agency pickup. It can't always be a trade that's going to help you, get over the hump. Sometimes it's got to be you growing from within. Mm-hmm. And if you have the ability to do that, well, the dollar figure is going to be down, which helps the salary cap.
Yeah, it does.
And it's a big deal because now you can spend a little bit more money on something else that you might need at the deadline.
We'll see if his good play, the steady hand, continues. Paired up with Darnell Nurse tonight. Let's hear from Alec Regula as he gets set to take on the Colorado Avalanche.
Being back in the lineup, I know you drew in against Dallas, and what this kind of start of the season's been like for you?
Yeah, it was fun to play again. Got a first 2 games in, and then kind of got banged up there. So it was good to get back and playing again. And you always want to be playing. So that's the fun part.
You played with Darnell Nurse before. I know it was just 1 game or just over 1 game. But what's it like playing with number 25? What are some of the things that you look to do to complement?
Yeah, it was good. I think we played a handful in the preseason together, and then those first 2, I thought we did well. And I think he can help me a lot. Obviously, he's a good veteran, and I think I can help him too. I think our games kind of complement each other. So it's a really good test tonight here. They have a lot of high firepower, so it's going to be a challenge. But I'm confident that we can play well together.
Just elaborating on that, Alex, in what ways do you think your teams complement one another?
Yeah, I think he's really assertive out there. He's very good defensively, and I think that's something I've picked up on. He's always helping me out. He's an unbelievable skater, covers a lot of ground quickly, and he's just very aggressive in the defensive zone, and I think I'm a little bit maybe more passive. I think I kind of let the play come to me a little bit and then try to make a quick steal and break it out and get going the other way. So I think it's been a good compliment there with us too.
We know the results haven't gone you guys' way as much as you guys had hoped. As a newer and a fresher face in this locker room, as the group tries to get back to that standard, what does that look like? How do you kind of take that in?
Yeah, it's hard. I think. I mean, as like you said, a fresh face, and I've only played a couple games here, so it's been tough for me to really have a true feel or understanding of kind of what the struggles have been. I can obviously see like the rest of you guys, but I think when you're playing, you kind of have a better understanding of what's going on, and so I think for me, it's just kind of take care of myself here and try to play the best that I can be, and I think that'll just help the team. So that's where my focus is at.
With those fresh set of eyes, what are the strengths of this team that you're hoping to hone in on a little bit more consistently moving forward?
Yeah, I think the team's really good. I think we still believe that, and I think we've been getting out to a lot of leads. So I think it's just closing the games out right. I think we've been putting ourselves in good positions. So I think it's just about getting the job done. But I think overall, a big percentage of the game has been good. We just have to kind of get over the last little bit there. So.
All right, pleased to welcome in Bailey Curtis from DNVR Avalanche as we get set for the first meeting between the Oilers and the Avalanche down at Rogers Place tonight. Bailey, welcome to the program. Not a lot to complain about when it comes to the Avs so far this season, right?
We're living life pretty easy here in Denver, I will say that. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Okay, let's dive into it. I mean, a lot of people are excited in Edmonton about this matchup. A lot of people are worried, Bellsy, about this matchup because anytime the Avs come to town, anytime the Oilers go to Denver anytime that, we see the Dallas Stars or any team like that.
It's a star-studded matchup.
Yeah, there you go. Good pun. Very good. Oilers fans get a little bit worried, but it tends to bring out the best in the Oil, and they've kind of had a stuttering start to this season, but not so much for Colorado. How would you describe this 8-1-5 start? What's the Avs' identity so far?
So far, this is a team that is going into the season doing exactly what they said they were going to do. Last playoffs did not end the way that they wanted it to, and the word used the most during media heading into preseason was hungry. This team is hungry. They did not like how things ended, and they are proving that through their season so far. I think, over time, situation aside, this team is playing exactly the way that they want to. They're scoring lots of goals. Their depth is contributing. They're getting contribution from their blue line. Goaltending's maybe not where they wanted to start the season, but Scott Wedgwood has put on a heck of a performance to start the season so far. With a few things to clean up here and there, overall, they're exactly where they want to be.
Belzy.
Yeah, I was looking at your depth and just going to a guy that I used to play with, Brent Burns. I know that they obviously brought in a guy that is going to help solidify the top six, but what has he done to, ease the burden off of a Taves and Makar?
This is a guy who the Avalanche are bringing in to eat a lot of minutes. That was the biggest kind of glaring point for this Brent Burns edition. He's a guy who's used to playing top line minutes with a guy like Jacob Slavin in Carolina. So that kind of translated to this Avs team. You're hoping that takes a little bit of the burden off of Makar down the road. Right now, we're still seeing Makar playing a ton of minutes, which is maybe not ideal for that top line, especially considering there's not much of a break coming up for a guy like Cale Makar with the Olympics coming up as well. But this is also, Brent Burns is a guy who's playing 20 plus minutes a night. He's contributing in areas where they maybe want to give Cale Makar a break, and he's a dependable defenseman. He's a guy who can contribute in all three zones of the ice. He can push up when you need him to, but he's a reliable defenseman. And playing next to a guy like Josh Manson too, Brent Burns, for his size, is not a very physical guy, but he's got an insane reach, and he's been that pairing so far, I think, has been incredible. Aside from, the on ice stuff, off ice, he's been a joy to have in this locker room. Maybe not wearing a letter on his sweater, but still stepping up in the ways that it matters and answering questions, being that veteran presence both on and off the ice. He's been an incredible contribution to this team.
Why are you giggling?
I'm giggling because I knew that when we played together, he was just starting his Ace Ventura days, and now I know that he's full on wild man. So did he bring his entire jungle with him to Colorado?
The backpack kind of scares me.
Yeah, 100%.
You never know what's in that thing, but he did. It seemed like he packed his entire life in that backpack, and he's been carrying it around ever since. It's a joy to watch.
I was over at his house one day, and he's like, "Belzy, just a heads up, I lost my snake." Like, what do you mean you lost your snake?
Snake?
Yeah, snake. And this thing, I'm pretty sure it was like a python. And he messaged me a couple days later, and it was in the neighbor's yard. I'm like, oh, that's good.
Nice. That's great. Yeah. Okay.
It's the last thing you need, right?
Story
that thing
time.
just coming out of the wall and just, yeah.
All right. Bailey Curtis joining us from DNVR Avalanche as we get you set for the Oilers and the Avs here on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pre-game show. Okay, Gabriel Landeskog, took him forever. He finally came back last year. How has he been through the early part of this season? And then I guess we got to talk about life without Mikko Rantanen. Marty Necas has been a great addition for the Avs. How would you sum up what we've seen from those two players, Bailey?
Starting off with Gabe Landeskog, I mean, the kind of guy he is, a leader both on and off the ice, you see that impact almost immediately. He's taking a lot of the load off of a guy like Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar, being able to kind of talk to refs and make those kinds of calls on the ice. And a lot of what I think this Avalanche team was missing in years past was a guy that for sure is going to step up to defend anybody on the ice. If somebody's getting chased after, Gabe Landeskog is going to be the guy to go up to the other player and be like, not today. This is not happening. And you've got that guy back who will, without a doubt, stand up for any single one of his teammates. But not just that, too. You see the impact that he has in the locker room. He was around. He was around and about these last couple seasons, but having him back on the ice just makes such a big impact for these guys as a group. They're gelling more. The chemistry is clicking. Things just seem to be working so much better for this Avs group having him back. Kind of switching a little bit. He maybe isn't where he wants to be. This is a guy who, was playing on the top line during that 2022 Stanley Cup winning team. This is a guy who's making that top six contribution, and now you're seeing him more of in a middle six type role. This is a guy who maybe should have a goal to his name, but does not yet through the season so far. But he's kind of getting there. He doesn't seem like he's in a rush to get back to that point, but he kind of is in that limbo where he realizes there's more to his game. There's more to where he wants to be. But he's just kind of rolling with the punches right now. The Avs are a really deep team as of right now, and he's just kind of taking whatever he can from Jared Bednar and rolling with the punches and contributing whatever he can. He just seems like a guy who's really happy to be back on the ice. With everything else aside, like, this is a guy who has a pure love for the game, and watching him step back into that has been incredible.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that, he's still got to find his game, and obviously he's coming back from a pretty substantial injury, and he's going to find some time to work his way back into it. But, he's a tremendous player, and he can impact the game multiple ways. And so it's great to see him back on the ice and doing what he obviously loves. One thing I ask you about is Scott Wedgwood. Like, when you look at it, at this team, Mackenzie Blackwood is a name that for a lot of people, especially here in Edmonton, they would immediately be like, this is the starter of the team.
Well, hang on. They lust for any goalie not named Stuart
Skinner. This is true. I agree with you. I didn't want to go there, but here we are. I appreciate that, Tommy.
Yeah, I got it.
But yeah, he's a guy that immediately people gravitate to because they thought he would have been the guy that's going to, carry the mail with the Avalanche. But Scott Wedgwood has come in. He's got 12 games played. He is their number one goaltender. Like, what has he meant to the team? And is this a situation where, like, maybe Mackenzie Blackwood can work his way back into it, or has he just become the de facto backup?
I wouldn't call Mackenzie Blackwood a de facto backup by any means. This is a guy who, in his first game back, maybe looked a little rusty, which is to be expected given maybe some of the setbacks that he had in the injury that he sustained during the offseason. This situation is solely, I think, Jared Bednar loves to ride the hot goaltender. He's a guy who's, once he's got something rolling, he's not very quick to stray from the mean. And that's kind of what this is. I don't think, with that said, there's any trust lost for a guy like Mackenzie Blackwood. The way that I see this is Scott Wedgwood is playing some great hockey right now. He's had some wishy-washy games, but overall is putting up a solid performance in the crease for the Colorado Avalanche. And while he's performing like that, this gives a guy like Mackenzie Blackwood the most time that he needs to recover and be the goaltender that the Colorado Avalanche need him to be. This is a guy who is signed to a multi-year deal with the intention that he's going to be this team's starter for the foreseeable future, versus Scott Wedgwood, who his future on this team is not set. This is a team that maybe is looking other directions, perhaps their prospect in Ilya Nabokov, who may be coming onto the team as soon as this spring. And so this is solely a situation that I think takes a lot of the pressure for Mackenzie Blackwood to make his return ASAP. You're giving him the opportunity to work with their goaltending coach, get his game back to where it needs to be, but also being comfortable with what you have in the meantime.
The lumberyard, as they're referred to back there in net, working out okay. So we'll see Wedgwood tonight. He's been very good while Blackwood was banged up. We've got Bailey Curtis from DNVR Avalanche getting you set for the game tonight. All right, the Oilers have been pretty ho-hum so far this season, Bailey, and the Avs have been kicking it into high gear. They want to be contenders again this year. What type of hockey game do you think we're going to see tonight at Rogers Place?
Oh, gosh, this is a star-studded matchup. This is one of those teams. I always loved watching these two teams battle it out because you're watching best-on-best hockey for the most part. Those top lines for these two teams are no doubt star-studded. You've got a Nathan McKinnon who's won a couple awards in his time, as has Connor McDavid. And they're two players who you know what you're seeing on TV, but watching that in person, watching that kind of star-studded, situation. Watching that being battled out on the ice, it's incredible to watch. I sometimes don't believe my eyes. With that said, despite how well Scott Wedgwood has been performing for the Colorado Avalanche, I expect this to be a high-scoring affair. I expect to see a lot of goals coming from both sides of things. Nathan McKinnon, Draisaitl's doing incredible work for the Edmonton Oilers so far. So I expect to see a lot of goals from a lot of different places.
The over, set at 6.5 at Play Alberta. It is the under that's oddly enough favored, but just barely. So you're saying take the over tonight.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Okay, one last one for you. Any young up-and-coming players or guys to keep an eye out on the Avs, not superstars that we've known throughout the years, that we should be watching for tonight?
Yeah, the biggest guy that comes to mind is a player who was not expected to be on this roster and made the opening night lineup in Gavin Brindley. He was acquired in the trade that sent Charlie Coyle and Miles Wood to the Columbus Blue Jackets. And he was a guy who a lot of us expected to start with the Colorado Eagles up in Loveland in the AHL and have an incredible start to the season, but worked his way onto an NHL roster. This is a guy who we really were not expecting to make as much noise as he did through preseason, through training camp. And this is an interesting situation because the Avs are dealing with some depth injuries right now. Logan O'Connor should be right around the corner to returning. Yoel Kiviranta is going to miss some time. But with the return of those guys, it makes it really, really difficult for a guy like Gavin Brindley to be sent back down. Nice. Jared Bednar on Altitude Sports Radio the other week mentioned that this is not a position earned by injury. This is a guy who worked his way on the lineup and has worked his way to staying there. This is not a guy maybe you're going to see on the score sheet very much, but this is a smaller body in the bottom six who is going to work his butt off and make things very, very difficult for the Edmonton Oilers on the other side of things.
All right, we're going to keep an eye out for him, and it's going to be a good game. Take the over, like you said. Bailey, thanks for hopping on tonight. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
All right, that's Bailey Curtis from DNVR Avalanche. We're going to go inside the locker room. You can go to the rink. I'll meet you over there. Coming up next, it is head coach Chris Knobloch.
Hey, Chris. There's times where Connor and Leon play together, and sometimes it's a reflection of maybe what you want to do. How much of it is also a reflection of how great Colorado's top line is tonight, and could that be a potential matchup we might see head-to-head?
I'm sure there'll be a lot of times where those two lines are against each other just because of the amount of ice time that each line will be playing. And I think it's a good matchup for a good challenge for our guys. I think they enjoy having those times when they're playing against other teams best. And, their top line or their top 5-man unit, which plays a lot together, are obviously one of the best, if not the best in the NHL. So it's a good, it'll be exciting for the fans seeing all those star players on the ice against each other.
Is there another team that plays with the same tempo and pace as Colorado?
Not from what I've seen. There's some teams out in the East maybe play that tempo, but maybe not quite as much skill as Colorado has. So, from early on in the year, I would say that their skill and speed and tempo is probably the best.
Chris, what has given you the confidence, or I guess why put Jack Roslovic with McDavid and Draisaitl? What have you seen that maybe makes you think that's a good combination?
Jack's been playing really well, and we talk about if those lines are playing against Colorado's top, we want our best to play against their best, and right now Jack's been one of our best. Contributing offensively, but also with his speed and being able to break up plays with his stick and getting in to just break those plays up, which allows your better players to get those pucks too. So I think we had a lot of options. I know Podkolzin spent some time with those two this year for a game, and last year for a short stint, and Pods has been playing really well, but just wanted to keep with the positions. Jack staying on the right, felt that was the best option.
What have you seen from him in the net front on the power play? A spot that's usually kind of a bigger, heavier guy, but he's been pretty crafty around the front.
Yeah, he's benefited with a couple goals with both, I believe, Connor feeding him, giving him great passes. But to get those great passes, you got to find the open space. And, he found him backdoor one, he popped out a little bit on top of the crease. But another important factor on a good power play is puck retrievals. And Jack is fast and he can jump in there and get those pucks back. But he's also just not a simple player. Like when he does recover those pucks, he has the composure to make the next play. So I don't know. I think that a lot of that has to do with him being a good player, but right now having a lot of confidence. So he's been a nice addition there.
And I just wonder, Chris, do you consider this game like a measuring stick game in any way, or is it too early in the year for that? What do you think?
Long term, no, I think it's too early to say it's a measuring stick of us being a good team or a bad team, but I think it's a good challenge for us, and I think we always get excited about challenges and playing against other good teams because we believe we're a good team. And but to say if we come up flat or let's beat them by a large margin or lose by, I don't think that's any indication of where we are long term.
Morning, Chris. I know an area of emphasis for your group in the first month of the season was defending the transition. Colorado's one of the best transition teams in the league. Where do you feel like your part of the game is at right now? And what are some of the things that you need to see against a team like Colorado to make sure that they don't gain that speed?
Well, the biggest thing, if a team has good transition, it's usually because they're doing a good job of breaking up plays and not allowing the other team to have a good entry or forcing turnovers in the neutral zone. And then that's where the opposition team is in kind of a scramble mode and not have their structure, and that's when you take advantage of it. So for us to limit Colorado's transition game is being good with the puck and not having those turnovers. If we try and stick handle through a defenseman or try a low percentage pass that gets intercepted, that's where when we're in poor position to defend that counter attack. So I think the biggest thing is, one is, yes, we're skating and getting above their guys, but it starts before that, and that's with what we do with the puck.
All right, that was Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch heading into tonight's action against the Colorado Avalanche. Shawn Belle has made his way to Rogers Place, just me and Benny Thompson. I am inside my kitchen, which is subbing in as the satellite studio. We're basically making it like a road situation because Belzy was here. Usually I'm in my home satellite studio, which is just over there behind my kitchen in the office of my place. But yeah, welcome inside my home. If you're watching, to those listening, I cleaned it up for everybody, so it looks
very nice.
Thank you, Benny. I appreciate that very much. All right, we have a couple minutes left. We will get to the game day odds check, and I'm going to read this text really quickly from Hersey via the inbox, 780-218-9999. Hersey's like, Nurse good defensively. He must think he's paired with a different guy. Ha, ha, ha. Yes, Hersey. Very funny. Very funny. Okay. Your game day odds check brought to you by Play Alberta. When you play in Alberta, it stays in Alberta. And of course, that's very important. Safe and secure. The revenue generated from Play Alberta is redirected into Alberta's General Revenue Fund, which is used to support programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. A couple of the promo codes have been refreshed for November. EST Sports is working. That's a $50 deposit with a $50 free bet that comes with it. And then EST Casino, that's on the casino side. You get a $50 deposit that gets you a $50 casino bonus. Your money line for tonight, the Avs favorite at -128. The Oilers at +109. Over under, like you heard earlier, set at 6.5. The over at -111. The under at -119. We think it's going to hit on the over. Benny, you agree with that? I'm with Bailey on
100%.
this one.
100%.
Yeah.
I could see this one being a high scoring one.
Me too, and I hope so. It's Saturday night. Let's go, baby. It should be a fun one down at Rogers Place. And so that's your game day odds check brought to you by Play Alberta. That story you had about Regula was excellent.
Thank you.
A friend of yours or a friend of a friend, kind of being his buddy when he came to Edmonton. You're on the team, but you're not really, and you're rehabilitating. It's kind of hard. You're not, with the guys and not on the road and stuff like that. What I did want to say about that, Benny, and that thing that I liked about it was just shows how friendly people are and welcoming people are in our city, which is always kind of part of its charm. I know some people like to dog it, but I think the people here, for the most part, make it a very welcoming place. And I think that was a great example of that. So thanks for sharing that story, Benny. Okay, buddy, final thoughts from you as we get set for what should be a fun night at Rogers Place.
Yeah, it better be a fun night. This game is it's got everything to make it exciting. Obviously two teams with a lot of talent on either side. I kind of wish that it was Colorado coming out of like the other side of the West bracket the past 2 years instead of Dallas. Like, don't get me wrong, Dallas is a great team, but I would have loved to see the Oilers get another rematch in a playoff series against the Colorado Avalanche. Because we saw what happened last time when these two teams met. I think Edmonton would like a redo, and the team's pretty different from that series as well. So, but yeah, like these two teams, very good, high flying. Lots of offense, so much talent on either side. It should be a doozy tonight. Should be. I like the over tonight, and I'm cheering for a good game tonight, which I think we'll get.
I think we will too. By the way, the Grey Cup is set. It will be Saskatchewan against Montreal in Winnipeg. That should be a lot of fun. Lieutenant Eric texted us in. He says, "I'm getting tonight." He's celebrating. Big Rider fan, Lieutenant Eric. So it should be a great Grey Cup for sure. Here's your lines for the Oilers tonight. If you didn't catch it earlier, McDavid between Draisaitl and Roslovic, Nugent Hopkins with Podkolzin and Mangiapane. You got Henrique between Philp and Frederick. They're playing on their off wings. And then Tomaszek with Howard and Savoy. Ekholm paired up with Bouchard. Nurse paired up with Regula. That's a bit different. Kulak with Wallman. No Stetcher, no Emerson, no Curtis Lazar. Your starting goalies for tonight. Stu Skinner. He is 4-1-2 lifetime versus the Avs. 294 GAA, 914 save percentage in 8 appearances against Colorado. And then at the other end of the rink, it is Scott Wedgwood. He's having a great season so far. 8-1-2, 249 GAA, 902 save percentage in 12 games. He is 2-2-2 versus the Oilers over the course of his career. 314 goals against average, 918 save percentage in the 6 games he has faced Edmonton. One more shout out, Benny. I just want to throw a shout out to Jasmine for hooking me up with this tie. Got it for me on my birthday. Jazzy, I knew I'd find a good time to use it and wear it. It looks good. I went with the navy blue, and then it's a white tie with some blue accents and a nice little pattern there. So Jazzy, thank you for that. Looking sharp, look good, feel good, play good, all those good things. Just want to say thank you to Jasmine for hooking it up, making me look good. And big thank you to Bailey Curtis from DNVR Avalanche. You'll hear from her again later on this season. I thought she was fantastic, giving us the scoop on the Avs. For Shawn Belle and our good friend Betty Thomson back at the EST Global HQ, I'm Tom Gazzola saying thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you. If you did watch, hit that thumbs up button. On the way out, the Oilers and the Avalanche. The Oil looking for a big win against one of the best teams in the West. How are they going to do? We'll find out. Join us on the post-game show. Ciao for now.